The rise of Bobby Orr, television coverage and highlights. Bobby Orr is widely regarded as one of the greatest hockey players of all time. His incredible skill, speed, and hockey IQ set him apart from his peers and made him a dominant force on the ice. Orr's rise to fame coincided with the rise of television coverage of sports, and his highlights and game footage quickly became must-watch TV for hockey fans around the world. Television coverage of hockey was still in its infancy in the 1960s and 1970s when Orr burst onto the scene. Most games were not broadcast live, and highlights were few and far between. However, as Orr's star began to rise, television networks started to take notice. They realized that they had a once-in-a-generation talent on their hands and that his electrifying play could draw in viewers like never before. One of the most famous moments in Orr's career was his iconic goal in the 1970 Stanley Cup Finals. In overtime of Game 4, Orr scored the game-winning goal and then went flying through the air in celebration. The image of Orr with his arms outstretched has become one of the most enduring images in sports history, and it was all captured on television for the world to see. Television coverage of hockey continued to grow in the years following Orr's retirement, and his highlights remained popular with fans. Networks would often air retrospectives of Orr's career, showcasing his greatest moments and reminding fans of just how special a player he was. Even now, decades after his playing days are over, Bobby Orr highlights are still a staple of hockey programming on television. One of the reasons Orr's highlights continue to resonate with fans is the sheer artistry of his play. He was a master of both offense and defense, and his ability to control the flow of the game was unmatched. Whether he was setting up a teammate for a goal or making a crucial defensive stop, Orr always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. Another reason Orr's highlights are so beloved is the era in which he played. The 1970s were a time of great change in hockey as the game became faster and more physical. Orr's style of play was ahead of its time, and his highlights capture the excitement and intensity of that era perfectly. Watching Orr fly around the ice, making plays that no one else could, is a reminder of just how special a player he was. In addition to his on-ice highlights, Orr's off-ice presence also helped to make him a beloved figure in the hockey world. He was humble and down-to-earth, always willing to give credit to his teammates and coaches for his success. His interviews and appearances on television were always insightful and engaging, and fans loved getting to know the man behind the highlights. As television coverage of hockey has evolved over the years, so too have the ways in which we consume Bobby Orr highlights. In the age of the internet, fans can now access Orr's greatest moments with the click of a button. Whether it's a classic goal or a bone-crunching hit, Orr's highlights are just a YouTube search away, allowing fans to relive the magic of his playing days whenever they want. Bobby Orr's rise to fame in the 1960s and 1970s coincided with the rise of television coverage of sports. His highlights and game footage quickly became must-watch TV for hockey fans around the world, showcasing his incredible skill and artistry on the ice. Even now, decades after his retirement, Orr's highlights continue to captivate fans and remind us of just how special a player he was.